Just waiting for it to start. All right, that's muted. All right. So today is May 19th. There was recently a request for questions, clarity, updates, and all sorts of goodies. Was put on the chat window for you guys to see it. We have maybe 7 or 8 questions. I'm surprised there's not more. I really am. That was your opportunity to ask a question that you may not be clear on. And some took advantage of asking questions and a lot didn't. So my first question to all of you, and I'm just going to do this, if you would, for those who have their cameras open. Let me put this on a different view. For a show of hands or thumbs up to answer the questions that I have for you before I even go into yours. All right. First and foremost, I pray that everyone is healthy and ready. That's first. Second question, is everyone clear on how to go get the recorded calls? Okay. So we're clicking on live, right? Okay. The recorded calls are for everyone's benefit, but there's a lot that don't know how to go look at the recorded calls. That should have been the first question. How do you see these recorded calls? I'm not finding them. You might see 1 or 2 on the channel, but if you subscribe, you should get an email every time I do a recording. But if you don't know how to go locate the recorded calls, then all of that information that was recorded on there for your benefit is going to waste. And we are coming to the call or sliding through with a little bit of knowledge. It's not going to work. That's not going to work. You have to know all the steps. So there's a lot that's going to be touched on this evening. Hopefully, I'm going to get more out of you at the end of this call. So even though you've sent in questions, I'm going to open it up for questions. And I hope I get more than 9 questions. There's 157 people on this call, right? Thank you for showing up. It's very, very important. Very important. Second or third question from me to you. That question is, trust is the ultimate gift. And without it, you walk blind. Okay? So I pick on the word trust because of 2 reasons. One, that's all we have. We have word of mouth, we have, things you say, and then you have integrity of who you are, how you stand, where you stand, all those good things. I'm not going to go into all of it, just hitting on things to put it here. Okay? Trust is extremely important to me. All right? So we had a good set of directions that have been put up in multiple places on the website, in the emails that were sent out. There's a couple, large emails that went to everybody's spam because of all of those YouTube videos, links, and nobody looked in the spam. A lot of the questions that are in this anonymous question sheet could have been answered by those videos. Okay? The benefit of a recorded call is a little button called pause. You can click it and stop everything. You can grab the little button and slide it back and have me repeat it 90 times if you need to, because it's in the privacy of your viewing, right? All of the information that has been transmitted thus far is either recorded on those recordings or on the website. Now, there is some more information coming. The terms and agreements for the website have been created. Not going to send them out. You'll just see it several times. You're going to see it at the bottom of the website, and you're going to see it in the commercial. At least I sent it over there for them to include it, because it was really, really well written, and you'll see it. And I stand by those terms 1,000%. Now, there's a few things that I need to get clear so that we don't go into the system foggy. First thing, is anybody or has anyone been coerced to participate? Has anyone been forced to participate? Okay, that's number one. It's important. Number two, there was some things promised or said to accommodate because of my willingness to make it good for everybody. And then we found out, or I found out, I'm not going to put that on anybody but myself, that some things you can't promise. You just can't. So, again, this was recorded as well. I gave an apology for making statements that I couldn't back up, and I told you why. Okay? Shouldn't even been a question. Just saying, it was recorded. The last thing on that arena is we all have our wants and needs at our feet, right? We all need something. Lord knows I do. And I know 165 people that do, right? Plus one in the other room there. Don't worry about who's first, because that's starting to come up fairly heavy. I want to take some things out of your expectation. Number one, it's not an MLM. There's no referrals. Number two, there is no first. and there's no last. I meant that. A lot of people thought that, oh, you just, that's a catchy statement. You're just saying that. No, it literally is built like that. But you have to trust what I'm saying. It's not a Ponzi. It's not a pyramid. It's not any of those things. This design is specific to a promise delivered, period. Okay? Now, I would like to see everyone blessed with it. That's why we put it together. That's why I went through, not going to go there. So remove those mindsets immediately because it's not set up like that. It's not built like that. It's specific. Okay? And you'll see once it launches, you will see what I'm talking about. And I don't know, by that time, I should have my patents or whatever, or maybe not. We'll see. Those things take a while. If somebody gets it, we all know who started. I'll put it like that. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on before I go into these questions is the more you talk, the more people know. So if you know things, stop talking. Okay? That's why I'm on a NDA. There's certain things I can't speak on, but I don't control the process. Okay? It just means there's certain things I'm not allowed to speak on, period. All right? Let's do these questions. I'm going to do one at a time, and I'm going to use this as hopefully training or wiping away the fog or the whatever the apprehension that you have. The first word I'm going to say about that is family. We're family, whether you like it or not. And family, when you get to a reunion, you ever went to a family reunion? What's the first thing they say? Did you eat? Right? Don't they ask you that? If you've ever been to a reunion, that's usually the first question. Did you eat? They want to make sure you're full. They want to make sure you're enjoying yourself, right? Same thing with a promise delivered. Let me get this thing launched and you will eat. We can't worry about what kind of meat is on the grill as long as you get to chew it, right? For those who eat meat, I know there's some of you that don't eat that stuff. I get it. But you get my point. You have come to eat. Now let the system feed you. But in order to sit down and eat, you got to go get a plate. You have to go get silverware, right? You have to choose your entrees out of the dishes. Those are the instructions. Your plate is being built by your instruction. I don't eat meat, so no meat goes on that plate, right? Just follow me for a second. I don't eat this, but that's there. I don't put that on the plate. But you see things you do like and you put it on the plate. Those are instructions. And instructions are built to make sure everything goes smooth. Okay? A system is built a certain way, and we have to follow the system. Just like everything else, everybody on this screen is done. Did you go get driver's license? Way back when? Did you tell that cop where you're going to go on this license test? Did you tell him? No. No, you did not. When you went to school, did you tell the principal of the school how to teach the kids? No. You sat down, you got your books, and you followed the teacher, right? Most of us did. I was in the back making noise and acting up. But then I, had to get myself together and follow the books. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Once you follow all instructions, you get a diploma, you're off. Some of you went and did it again in the college. You still had to what? Follow the steps. A promise delivered is not hard to do. It really isn't. It really, really, really isn't. And this is my favorite one. When you go to Walmart to go get a loaf of bread, some bacon and eggs, how did you get there? Either a bus or your car, right? You went to Walmart, got your stuff, and you came back, right? And you put it in the fridge. Did you, now here's my favorite question, ask how the transmission worked before you went to Walmart? I bet you didn't. You just got in the car or in the bus, went and got what you needed to get and brought it home. Same thing. There's no need to try to figure out how it works. What I need you to figure out is the steps and make sure you got all the steps that are required of you. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. All right, let's get these questions. Are you still going to have the enrollers reach out to the first 75? And before I read any more of these, nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is the process, and that is the 2 positions of Team Royal. The other stuff is just instruction. I really wanted to allow people to have only one so they're happy, or what have you, or 2, or even one asks for, if I have 6 LLCs, can I get 6 positions? I had to say no. They were willing to pay for all 6. But see, that's altering what's on a promise delivered LLC. Everybody said that they went and watched the video. The steps. We've talked about the steps. Nowhere in there does it say you can get 6 positions. See, somebody started talking about mentioning 6 positions and it got out. I still haven't found out who that person was that talked. And you know who you are. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to go through all that. But I want you to know that when you talk, other people try to act or react on what you said. 6 positions. That was only in one location of conversation. You put it out. Now that person called me and asked, can they use their 6 LLCs? That's what happens when you do this. So are we still going to have the enrollers reach out to the first 75? Nothing has changed. You are on spreadsheets. Those spreadsheets are time-stamped and locked in. Nowhere on any call did you hear me change that process. You already know. That's why you're even asking that question. You know that That's how it goes. Those were people that put up $25. Would it be possible to offer recommendations on some great financial professionals, particularly with some crypto knowledge, that would help us on handling our upcoming wealth? I have mentioned many times to get prepared. Remember me saying, are you ready? That's getting prepared. You are going to have to step into control center, which means a promise delivered, Team Royal are the tools. These things have been put together for you to benefit. We can't always have somebody put forth on a call for you to ignore, or to watch other videos, or baking a cake, or whatever goes on where your attention is somewhere else. So I'm going to say to that question, you have to take the driver's seat on several things. First one is getting a CPA. Remember, I said you're going to be managing money. The best way to manage money is to get someone who does that. If I put them on a promise delivered, where would I put them? So that means you have to say, okay, all right, let me look in Google in my area, find me a CPA. Ask questions. Do you handle this? Do you have knowledge of cryptocurrency? Do you have knowledge of this or that? You know what you're going to receive from a promise delivered, Team Royal. You already know. You know what they do. Pretty much both the same right now, but a promise delivered will evolve into cryptos as well. But they're both cash. So you don't have to go bananas with your question to a CPA, but get one. Talk to one. Break out of the shell. Okay? That's like I like to tease Janice. When we first started talking about, what's going to happen, how this thing works, and what you're going to be receiving. And I said, for those who have retired, you're going to have to go back to work. And she, no, I don't want to go back to work. But what I meant was, you're going to go back to work managing money, yours in particular. So some of you have experienced, I don't want to say large amounts, but you've handled paychecks coming in, Social Security coming in, you've seen larger money, and you've dealt with it here and there. And some of you have never dealt with any kind of consistent numbers. So when I teased Janice, I was actually serious. Yes, it is, most of you are retired and you're not trying to go back to work, and I'm not sending you back to work, but I do need you to pay attention. Okay? Let's say, I don't know, sixth grade. Does anybody know the number for sixth grade? Let me go back to the screen so I can see y'all. Does anybody know what the royalty is for sixth grade? Let's see. Kay, can you unmute yourself? I don't know if you can unmute. Let me change the settings. Okay, I believe you can unmute.
The reward is 1,000.
1,000. Thank you. So let's just, for a quick second, like I said, I'm not going to keep you long, 30 more minutes. Let's just say, for argument's sake, we start on Wednesday. And you cycle up to 6th grade. And by Thursday, you make it to 12th grade. Saturday, you're back at 6th grade. Now, I'm going to stop right there. In a week's time, you will have received or seen a very large sum of money come into your life. What do you do with it? What are you supposed to be doing? Shopping, withdrawing, saving, right? Shopping first, withdrawing second, and saving third. Now, I'm not going to go into the numbers. You already know the numbers. If you watch the video on the website, you know the numbers. You know what it is. Imagine doing that every week. Because that's what's going to happen. If you're not ready to move very large sums, what's going to happen? It's going to pile up. It's going to get out of control. And what are you going to do? I don't know what to do. This is why I've asked several times over the weeks, are you ready? Have you moved some crypto just to see how it feels to move it and then move it back? Have you bought some crypto? Have you sold some crypto? And you could pretty much do all that right in Cash App. I mean, it's only Bitcoin, but it's still the process. Have you tried it? Has anyone tried it? Be honest. I don't see a whole lot of thumbs. Okay. Now, let me go back and I'm going to get with these. What was phase 2 and 3? There's no forgetting because I never told you. That's why you forgot. APD, crypto or cash to start. Do me a favor and try not to abbreviate it. It's a promise delivered. If you don't get used to saying it, you won't feel what it means. If you shorten it, you've taken a lot of it out. Say the whole thing. It really means something when you say it. A lot of you haven't caught that part yet. And you should know the answer to this question. I've answered it multiple times. It's cash. It's going to start out cash. Remember, got to have a bank to do the other one. It's going to evolve to crypto, but it's going to start out in cash. So both of them will be cash. Promise delivered and team on. Team Roll, can you change your LLC later or different name or Stealth LLC? Okay. I need you to do me a favor. Go on irs.gov and pull up Stealth LLC. and then I'll understand what that means, because I've gotten all of the terms and what have you with LLCs on there, and I've never seen stealth. So yes, you can change these things. You just have to have what? You have to have the name and the EIN associated to it. You call,
Can I tell you
please
what
don't
it's
open your
doing?
mic. Do not do that, please. When I go into Q&A, you'll have the opportunity to answer that question. Please don't interrupt. Let me get through this, and then we'll go into Q&A. So you have to have those two pieces of information: the name of the LLC and the EIN that's connected to it. You call into them, tell them what you're doing, done. It's a 2-minute call. You take care of it. They're going to ask you to go in the back office, put this information in, and then update. They will then update their system. Done. Should be no more than a 2 to 4 minute call. All right. For internationals, when we get to step 4, please clarify what we will be doing. I have answered this question as well on recording, but I'll answer it again. Internationals for Team Royal don't exist. They don't have an international product. Internationals for A Promise Delivered. The first time you get there, that I know of, they have made a lot of different changes. I have to find out if they're going to allow silver and gold as an international product for internationals for Team Royal. But for internationals in A Promise Delivered, if there's no international product, that means when you get there the first time, you're going to subscribe to A Promise Delivered. The second time you get there, you can either shop or donate. Okay? Shop or donate. That's it. There's nothing else you can do as an international until they create or nominate an international product, which you would then be moving into Team Royal. But A Promise Delivered is only doing 2 things: presenting product, 3 things: subscribing, and you only do that once, or donating. That's international. All right. That's the same question as first initial 75. Will there be further testing by the initial 75? Whoever's asking about the first 75, please stop. The testing is being done as we speak. When you go in, you have been blessed with that position because you blessed A Promise Delivered with $25. That's it. When you go in, the system takes off. You'll be going through the system just like everybody else. That's it. I appreciate that you would like to pay for the Jump Start group. However, if you do not have the funds readily available in order to get us going, I am willing to utilize earned funds, A Promise Delivered, to reactivate my Team Royal account Jumpstart. You have that option. Since we're on that, let's talk about that, because I think there's a couple of questions about that a little further down. there was definitely a question about the NDA. And why I went on it, the times, the dates, everything. What I need everybody to understand is this. The NDA, like I said at the front of the call, tells me what I can and cannot say on a phone, a recorded call like this, or, you know, in a public place where you could be recorded. Certain things I'm not allowed to say, and I've learned how not to say those things. My intent with these funds is my personal business. That's number one. I included you on its knowledge of it because of what I plan to do with it. That is still my personal business. So to check on it or to reference what I do with it is not available for debate. Okay? I've already said what I plan to do with them when I get them. I don't have control over when I get them. But if you choose to use your royalties to reactivate yourself, I commend you. That's what you should do. And while we're talking about that, if you plan to bless other people, and some of you already did by sending in $25, I need to ask a question. And that question is this: because you sent in the admin fee, the fact that you are presented the opportunity to start out, is that not enough? Or does the $25 that was sent in give you the opportunity to dictate what happens? That's just a simple question right back to you. It's $25. All right. I appreciate and I'm happy that a lot of you did help with that admin fee. But it's an admin fee, not a lock-in or bargaining chip or whatever you want to call it. It's an admin fee that puts you on a spreadsheet. That's it. Okay? So it's difficult to try to make sure everybody's good on certain things. And if what I just said is not clear, please ask the question when we go to Q&A, so I can make sure we're all on the same page. Okay? Can you take a poll of the Jumpstart members to see if other people agree? I don't want you to do anything that will delay the process. However, if there is a way to get it going, get what going? A promise delivered? Take a poll of the Jumpstart members. Okay, when you ask a question like that, what are you asking for? There's nothing no one can do. There's nothing I can change other than allowing the programmer to finish programming. Once he's done, the pictures, like I told you, are now being created. clean because there was a copyright on them. You can't use copywritten items on your website. They'll sue you. They had to be changed, okay? It's a lot of pictures for all those products. That's what they're doing. So there's nothing that we can do outside of scrapping him and spending 170,000 for a pro team that's still going to take 3 months. We're already in, we're almost done. I know you keep hearing that, and I know, people are getting frustrated. You can't keep up the payments. I understand, trust me. It seems that, I guess because of how I talk or whatever, people think that I'm rich already. I'm not. I'm just like you. As a matter of fact, I had to leave one job because of all the days off. Can't make it like that. So I had to leave. So I'm just like everybody else. If you don't believe in a promise delivered and what I have been talking about for close to 9 years, I saw the first initial A Promise Delivered video is actually 10 years ago. I was in my account and found the video, the orange one. That was 10 years ago. So I've been at this for 10 years. There's nothing we can do. There's no need to take a poll. We just need to let him finish and launch. Once we launch, then all of the questions and all of the stuff, hopefully everybody is still around. You will see why it took so long. And the benefits that come with it are unmatched out here right now. Unmatched. All right, can you take a poll? Already read that. Will A Promise Delivered be accepting crypto for deposit? For the deposit? You mean the payment? I would imagine. Yeah, when we take crypto, all that information will be put on the website. Well, y'all like abbreviating that thing. At each A Promise Delivered level, can you purchase from Amazon other than what the links send you to? Yes. Or do you have to pick? No. Once you go in through a link, you're in Amazon under A Promise Delivered. It's not me. So I've seen that question too. Am I getting the commissions for everybody shopping at Amazon? That would be underhanded. That would be taking advantage of everybody who's participating, wouldn't it? And to even ask that question makes me think that you think that I'm underhanded. Again, challenging my integrity. Everything is under A Promise Delivered. Even the bank account is under A Promise Delivered. I participate just like you. So erase any thoughts that I'm doing something underhanded to get extra money. There's already enough in one position. Why would I have to do anything underhanded? But to answer this question, once you go in, you are under A Promise Delivered's link. You can shop wherever you want to shop and get whatever you want to get. It still counts to A Promise Delivered. Those commissions from you guys shopping go back to A Promise Delivered, so that you have royalties forever. Okay? Next question. No refunds for the first APD have come. When will those come? Again, you're asking questions that are not part of the business. I understand those were to come from funds you were getting. Again, you're asking questions of my personal business. You're not allowed to do that. Okay? Don't do that, because I don't ask what your checks look like. Don't ask me what mine look like. The gift is being able to do it for each and every one of you when it happens. Okay? Don't ask that question. That's like asking how much money you make. Don't do that. I don't do it to you. That's why I assume that is why the NDA took place and no calls happened for the most part of April 7. Though, okay, again, let that go. When it happens, everyone will be blessed, and that's the end of that. Let's leave that question alone. Let me go to the next one. I understand that I'm not going to read that one either. I've already covered that. Will the stagnant Team Royal accounts be given the 3 months pay to enter as stated in the past calls? I have not been contacted about that. Again, this question is concerning the NDA and all that's connected to that. That's all part of that. You will be contacted when it happens. No one has been contacted about that. And it's still the same. It's going to happen as soon as. All right, let me go to the next one. Government Form 1065K1 for LLC. Anyone have information on this form? Okay. There is a document, part of the documents that you signed, that states you will take care of your taxes. You will take care of all taxes and any forms that need to be filled out. That's what you need a CPA for, or a tax professional. They exist. You have to check them. You have to, find out if they've been sued before, find out if, you have to do some background checks because these people will be handling your tax information. So you need a tax professional. I'm not that. The company, A Promise Delivered, will put together a document which will be part of your KYC that tracks all funds. All you have to do is click on the report at the end of the year. It'll spit out what moved, where, how much, all that, and then you hand that to the tax professional and they'll tell you how to file taxes. Simple. Not me. You can do it through Team Royal. As a matter of fact, that's one of your products. That's why it's connected. Call in there, tell them you want to file this and file that. You need information. They're going to put you on the phone with a specialist, which, if I'm not mistaken, are IRS agents, and they will direct you with the right documents to fill out, because the business, it's not personal. None of this is personal except for your personal position. But again, same thing. Ask them, tell them that you have a business under your name and you've made such and such, and that's how much, whatever. They will direct you. A Promise Delivered, the enrollers, me, or anybody else that we bring on, unless they are a tax professional, we don't need to do that. That's why you're in Team Royal. For those who are not in Team Royal, all you have to do is take that information to the tax professionals of wherever you are and let them know it's a business that made this and that. You want to itemize or don't want to itemize, sit down with them. This is part of what I was talking about, managing money. Give them information, tell them that you want to file. This is what I made, this is what I got, this is, I recommend myself. And this is just recommendation, it's not financial advice. I don't have license for that. Whatever your state tax is, on whatever dollars you receive, take those taxes out. I've talked about this, and put it into a bank account. So let's say, I don't know, 6th grade, you got $1,000. What's the tax on your state? Because everybody's state is different. On that $1,000, let's say it's $200. You take that 200, put it over here in that bank and let it sit there. That 1,000 that you just received, you already took the taxes out yourself. Now that's called self-balancing. That's a lot of work. That's what professionals do. You just have to tell them how much. You just click on report. You'll see what you moved. Hand it to them. Pull the taxes out. I need to know what the taxes is on what I've earned thus far. Let's say it's Christmas and you've done well, and you want to know before you get to April, all that came in up to Christmas, how do I itemize? How do I, deduct things? Do stuff in the name of your LLC. All you have to do is bring up a website. Let's say you go to Chuck E. Cheese. Bring up the website and show somebody. Business meeting, right off the whole Chuck E. Cheese. But you have to learn how to do that kind of stuff by having conversation. I don't know how to do it 100%, but those guys over there in the back office at Team Royal do. They're tax professionals. That's what they do. They'll explain to you how to do that. But this is what I'm talking about, managing money, managing cryptos. Cryptos are not seen the same way. Okay? Anything new on FENCIK? What is that? I don't even know what it is, so no. Capri or Cappy? Anything new on Cappy Coin? Everybody has the website. If you purchase those things, you should have the website, and you can get updated by going to the website. As far as I know, they haven't launched yet, but they will. All right. I don't see any more questions that were sent in. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and record the questions, but before I open it up, there are certain things you cannot ask me. Okay? Now I need you guys to pay attention. Do not ask me anything on currency, especially names of them. Do not speak the names of them. Don't even say anything about currency. All right? Is that fair enough? Can everybody give me a thumbs up on that? Because I want to record this so people can come back and watch it and hear what you guys asked. Okay? So no discussion of any kind about that stuff at all, or I have to shut it down and delete it. All right. And like I said earlier, I'm taking a chance even coming on here to talk to you. But I want to make sure you're good and no one has any bad feelings or upset about something that's happened Remember, my objective and my whole thing has always been about helping as many people as possible. I don't have time to go to jail about $25, okay, or anything else. I like my freedom. I fought for it. Put my life on the line for it, for all of yours. I'm a vet for a reason. All right. Now I need to hear from you guys. There was only what, 11 questions? There's 171 people on here. I need to know if you don't know something. Let's talk about it. Get it recorded. It'll help somebody. All right. Before we go, the process is as follows. You join a Promise Delivered. 4th grade, $398 puts you in Team Royal. The next time you come back, $398 puts you in Team Royal. The next time you come back, you subscribe. Now remember, 4th grade is only $400. So it's not like you're doing those giant amount of things in that 4th grade. The 4th time you come back to 4th grade, there's 4 choices. 50, 100, 500, 1,000. Now remember, I said 400 on 4th grade. So if you were going to donate 1,000, you would have to have gone somewhere else and got some more, right? And the next time you come back to 4th grade, you can click on 1,000, 500, 150, whatever it is. All right? A Promise Delivered is 12 royalties. You already know what the royalties are if you watch the video. Team Royal gradually goes up as we bring on people. If you have 2 positions, it's 2 times those numbers. 2 times. Some of you, 3 times. It's legal, but it has to be done the way they requested it, which is the way I'm requesting from you. First position in your name, second position is in a LLC or your choice of an entity with an EIN attached to it. There's your 2 positions. You're done. You don't have to do nothing else. If you're a jump starter, 2 LLCs or entities with an EIN. Your choice. Doesn't have to be an LLC. It could be whatever you want, as long as it's a legal EIN. Now, I did have a conversation with my upline. Some internationals can get LLCs. Some, not a lot. And they can do the Team Royal under silver and gold if they allow it. I have to clear it first. They've said it twice. That's their international product. I want it in writing before I launch this thing. Because they really don't understand the numbers they're going to come with what we do. The commercial should be done in 3 more days. When the commercial is done, it'll be put on so you guys can see it. Now, we can either do a call and we all look at it, or I put it on, I don't want to put it on the Telegram because, you know, people do stuff. I'm just going to do a call, bring it on here. We all come on here and watch the commercial. 3 days. So that's what, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. If I get it on Thursday, I'll put a note out. Just jump on. We'll be on long enough to watch it and get off. All right. I think you can unmute. Please raise your hand and I'll click them. And then we'll go from there. Hold on 1 second. Rhonda.
Okay, I just want to have it completely clear so I understand where I'm at. I'm assuming when you just said jumpstart to LLCs, I'm assuming you meant that's a choice and they're not required to have two LLCs. Is that correct?
Right. They don't have to be LLCs. They can be a trust. They can be
But you can have one name and one LL and one entity. Is that where that's my question is? Okay. And the other question I need to know, because it determines my future, is so if because of the reasons I've already told you in private, if I choose not to go into an LLC, and since I'm a USA person, that basically means I'm out of a promise delivered. Is that correct?
when you say you don't plan, tell me what you're wanting to do.
I've been really, since I can't call you privately, or I would, and I have not broken that rule at all. But I have been clear about not wanting another EIN at this point in my life. And I know as a USA citizen, I'm required to do it. If I had to stick to not doing that, and you know what I've done and helped many people get in, etc., does that mean I am out of APD, a promise delivered? I need to know that before I continue to.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be participating the way it's designed. So that's what I talked about earlier. It's designed that way. I tried to give you what you wanted, but that would change the entire platform. Can't do that. I don't understand why it's so difficult.
It's not that it's difficult. I have my own reasons of what LLCs and Nevada C Corps and everything else that I have joined in the past for programs has done to me. I've been really clear, but I also don't want to keep coming to calls if it means I can't join. So after all these years and running chats and doing everything I've done to help, if it means I can't join a promise delivered, I need to know that.
Then yeah.
Okay, so I can't join. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same for everybody. I can't make it different for one person and not make it different for everybody.
Okay. Well, I wish you all well. Thank you.
All right. Geronimo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The only question I have, it may evolve into other questions, but the one up front is, do you have any idea how much longer it will take a programmer to eliminate the picture problem that we're facing?
I'm waiting for him to call me as we speak.
Okay, so you're saying that he could be finished with that portion of it, as you say, as we speak, or within the next few days, within that 3-day period that you were talking about coming back Thursday.
Correct.
And if that's so, then we're looking to launch pretty much soon after both of those things occur then. Is that correct?
Once he has all the pictures done, we'll test it with cash, with real entries, which will take maybe 3 hours. Once that last test is done with real money, because it has to actually go into the system and come out, then we can launch.
Okay.
So I would say within a week and a half or less, we'll be ready to go.
Okay. I think a lot of the issue is we've heard all of this information numerous times. A lot of us who are, as you say, stalwarts and been here for a while. I think it is that we just need to see it. Once we see it, then everything will fall into place. I think that's how it is. I think almost to the point that the more you explain it, the more it confuses some people. That we just need to, once it is launched and we see it in front of us, I think everything will start to move a lot smoother. And I think, of course, all the apprehensions that we have would be put to the side in most cases. I think that's how it is. And I also want to comment, looks like you got you a cubby hole there with your backdrop there. Look like you've found a location to seclude yourself.
Oh,
Is that
absolutely.
correct? Okay, yeah. Okay. I think that's how all of us should be, in a secluded type place where we can concentrate on what's being said and explained.
If we, I appreciate that, and like I was saying, and where I think the disconnect is coming, because the pieces have not been put together, is that A Promise Delivered has 12 different streams of royalty. So whatever financial burden that you are dealing with, you have 12 streams right there, separate, 12 of them. And then you come over here to Team Royal, which is connected to one or two positions. Two, you got to come in the first time. And as soon as you move through that, you're coming in the second time. You already have the royalties coming in over here at A Promise Delivered. So whatever finances it costs to maintain one or two Team Royals is already here. And I know you guys haven't seen it yet because it hasn't launched yet. But if you watch the video, you know that there's 12 different royalties, right? And they
Exactly.
increase as you go down. So when you make a payment over here to Team Royal, you are shopping. Did we catch it yet? Did the light bulb go off yet? When you pay that 150 or the 300, you just shopped, which is third grade, right? Third grade is 300. Your two what's that about? Your two positions, 150 each, is 300. So when you get to third grade, first Team Royal's done. Get to third grade again, second Team Royal's done. You don't have any more bills. Right? Anybody catch that? Then you go to fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. These are all royalties coming in for you to shop. Paying that Team Royal is a shop. You're shopping. When you put the two together, they negate, they zero out. Right? Anybody catch it?
Oh yes, Matava, I've caught all that. As far as Promise Delivered, what I'm looking forward to is the benefits of Team Royal,
Yeah,
being
well,
able to possibly purchase a house, being able to straighten out a lot of to put a financial portfolio together, in
absolutely.
essence, and to be able to get the trust set up in a proper way, and to have individuals who can instruct, and professional individuals can instruct and guide you through these other things. That is what I am looking forward to. I
Yes.
know everybody's talking about Promise Delivered, and the funds will be nice, no doubt. I'm not saying that I don't need the funds. I'm a pauper just like everyone else. But to have access to the professional advice from the Team Royal side to help structure your financial portfolio, that is what I am most looking forward to, as far as straightening out trust, getting the tax situations in line with present day situations,
That's what they do.
and to allow us to have an opportunity to really structure our lives financially, because with all of these type of funds coming in, we are going to have, as you say, a financial advisor. And I think that that's what we'll get with Team Royal.
Absolutely.
So
They're over there.
yes. And so it's a lot more benefits than what we are basically seeing on the surface. But we have to take a broader view of everything that's going to be provided to us and not just center on it. And a lot of people are just centering on the fact that, oh, it's $900 I got to pay. Oh, man, I don't want to have to do that. Oh, how am I going to manage an LLC? Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, actually, it will benefit us all if we do those things, because it's straightening out a lot of those issues that we may have had in the past about LLCs, about taxes, about finances in general. We will have access to professionals who will readily assist us in getting all these things straightened out in life. And it's not just for us individually immediately, it's for our progeny to be able to take care of, because we may have gone to school and gotten degrees in this or that, but we didn't get a degree in business management in most cases. They don't teach us that because they want us to continue out here struggling and everything. But I think if we take a step back and look at the overall benefits of which Team Royal and Promise to Deliver is going to provide, I think we'll find that we're getting a wealth of wealth management. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And when I cannot stress to you guys enough that I want it launched a month ago, so I wouldn't have to go get another job. But you have to do what you have to do to survive. So nobody wants this thing launched more than me, I don't think. There's a lot of you that are right there next to me, but trust me, 10 years is a long time to put up with what I have, trying to make sure everybody else is blessed. I could have so easily just slipped away and said, you know what, I got used, I'm done with the internet. But I'm still here. Sean.
Hey, Montavo, great night to you, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm going to ask you. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored.
I love to hear it. Hey, I actually have 3 questions. 2 of them are not for me. I was waiting to see if the people who asked them in the chat would ask them publicly. You might have to mute NGP. I don't know how to.
I got it.
All right. The first question is from Nina at 7:43 p.m. She said she has not paid her $25 admin fee, but had been on Team Royal since last year and have an active account. What is my next step? Thank you.
Chill.
All right. Then the next question is from Fred at 7:54. He said, I caught the last sentence when you said internationals will only be able to shop or donate. Is this for Team Royal only? We will be able.
Promise delivered.
Okay.
No one international can get into Team Royal until they validate to me in writing that they're allowing the silver and gold as the product for their international participants. Okay? When they give me it in writing, because again, there's a lot of people waiting on this thing to launch. And I would love more than anything to include the internationals on the Team Royal side. Imagine the amount of people internationally partaking. That means hundreds of thousands of people backing each other. So I don't have it in my hands, and when I do, I will share it with you. I'll bring up the document that shows where he signed saying, yes, these two items are international products. You can bring international people. That's all I want from him. When I have it, then everybody's the same. There is no separation in a promise delivered. Everybody's the same.
Cool. He has a part 2 to that question. So it ended at will we only be able to shop or donate or just for Team Royal only, which you answered. Then the next part of that was we will be able to withdraw funds with a promise delivered still, correct?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And then now I have my own personal question, and it's based upon what I heard earlier in the question with one of the other peers' question. And it is, and I guess I'll ask this to you, and I don't know if this is financial advice, but I could ask your opinion. And my question to you would be if someone, for whatever reason, say perhaps I don't want any more EINs, I could get a trust. It's different than having an EIN. And even though I don't know everything about trust, I'm still learning. From what I understand, you can have a trust as an umbrella where all of your other businesses go under that one trust, and it's a lot more easier to manage. So I'm just learning about that myself, and I just wanted to see that seems like a viable thing. I mean, nobody any harm. I would hate to see somebody who's been hanging on this long not participate.
I agree. And I agree. That's a personal choice now, but I will also piggyback on that. You have foundations, you have trusts, they all have an EIN number. The only thing, and this is where I'm really, taken back on it, but again, personal reasons. If with everything that you know about how the system works, I don't understand the apprehension. Maybe it is what it is. It's just beyond me. But I will say this. In Team Royal, you have professionals that explain trust to the max, where they will show you not only how to use it, but how to protect everything else you have, including your other companies. Now, this is coming from them, and this is what you have as a product, as a participant in Team Royal. So if it's because of something, and this is going to everybody, if it's because it's something that you are not 100% clear on, talk to a professional. I wouldn't know how to embalm somebody, but I bet you Janice does. I wouldn't know how to do a spreadsheet that works and runs things, but I bet you Sonia does. Everybody has a particular skill set. None of us know everything, but all of us know something. If it's something's foggy up here, you have multiple choices. You got YouTube, you have, real professionals. Yellow Pages doesn't even exist anymore, but you know what I'm saying. You can go find somebody on something that has an office where hey, let me sit down, help me understand this. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I have. Help me fix it. And sit back and let them talk. It's not me. It's not somebody here. It's a professional. That's why I really want you to think about it before you make a decision like that. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see you go because of whatever reason. Any obstacle can be worked out if you're willing to work it out. Margaret?
I have one last question. I do. My last question is this. Will you promise to balance your chakras before you go to bed this evening?
Absolutely.
That's what's up. I pray you have a great night.
Already am. Margaret?
Yes, Montalvo. I did send in a question. You probably read it. It was regarding withdrawing the funds for my friend, and you might not want to give an answer on this, but are you in a position to be able to answer me in writing at all, or can you say anything about that?
You're talking withdrawing funds out of the back office?
Yes, for
Yeah, you can
Rosemary,
ask- Yeah, you can ask
in her
that.
particular situation. Yeah.
Yeah. You can ask.
Oh, she's got a very, very long, I've sent it through. It's about, I don't know, 8 or 10 lines of information that has to be put in for the bank because it goes through an intermediary bank. And I'm just worried that there won't be enough room to put that in the banking information.
Oh, no,
And if
it'll hold it.
it will,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it'll hold it.
Because the only alternative I would have would be to withdraw it to a bank account of mine and then send it on to her through her wallet, so, which I can do.
It'll take any information in that field as
Okay.
long as it's pertaining to, whatever it is. So let's say that it's a savings account, and that savings account has, I don't know, 60 characters. As long as it's a savings account and you put it in that field, it'll take whatever's there.
Well, what it is an intermediary bank in Germany, and then it gives the bank address, and then it goes to her bank in Zimbabwe, and it gives that address, and I've asked her to check with the bank that we have to write everything down, even the bank addresses and everything, and then the numbers. So it's quite a lot of writing, and I was just concerned that it may not all fit in.
Let me find out. As a matter of fact,
I've sent it to you. You have got the
No,
yeah.
what I was going to ask is, did you put her city? Because I'm going to find out what is actually there that she may not know is there.
Well, she's opened a bank account in Zimbabwe, but they have to go through the intermediary bank in Germany at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to be for, obviously. But in the email, I attached a copy of what had to be put in.
Okay.
That
I'll
should be
check the
on your
email.
email. Yeah, if you could check it out and let me know whether that would be possible to put all that in. If it isn't, then I'll have to I wondered whether I could withdraw to a bank account in my name because it would be out of her back office. Is that allowed?
Right. Hold on one
That
second.
was my main concern, that I have got a method of getting her the funds, even if it has to go through my bank.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, if you could let me know, that would ease my mind a bit on that question. Yeah.
1 second. I'm just looking at something real quick. Okay, I got what I needed. I'll let you know what I dig up right here because that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay. All right then, Montalvo. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Randy,
Good evening.
good evening.
So I've been doing some concentrating and meditating on the program, and I believe the problem is everyone's been waiting on a promise delivered for year after year after year, and all of a sudden Team Royal's thrown in the mix to muddy the waters in the system. And I think that if people went all the way to step 12, then they were given the option to join Team Royal as a separate entity, it would be better for people. You know what I'm saying? Because we've waited on this program, what, 13, 14 years, something like that. But and then Team Royal's thrown in and people are going, wait a minute, that's not what we signed up for. Does that make sense? I mean,
No, actually, it doesn't.
it
Here's,
would still fill up. They
Here's
join
what-
after step 12 as a separate entity.
all right, I got you, but hear me out.
Okay.
Is a promise delivered paying for it, or are you paying for it?
A promise delivered's paying for it, but they would have plenty of money to pay their way in.
So my point is, if it's not extra out of your pocket, even after you get it, if it's not extra out of your pocket, but is bringing more in. See, if you look at the compensation plan for Team Royal, Promise Deliver can't touch it. Here's the other thing. How many on this call or any call prior to have duplicated a requested scenario? Do you have 2 people? What do we always hear?
No friends left.
So if we just do a promise delivered, okay, we just do a promise delivered. We put in 160 people. Where do we go?
I'm sure others would come around that's left us, because you were up to 800 people years ago, weren't you? Something like
Right.
that.
But they're gone.
Yeah.
So we gotta, what I can really count on is what I'm looking at. 160 people. Now, out of these 160 people, how many is gonna bring 3 more people? Each.
It's hard to do that because most people thinking wrong.
You would just be another MLM. Then you would have to put in referrals. So people would find, oh, well, if I bring 3 people, I'll get this much. Then it turns into something completely ugly. We've all joined those. You've joined them, I've joined them. I put us in few of them. And what did they do? Took the money and ran. The part that everybody, or not everybody, some are missing is that we own it. The money's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. My objective is making sure you have more than you need. This thing was put together. Team Royal came into play because it just worked. Same like-minded people. I told them what I was doing, gave them an idea, and they green-thumbed it. How many programs out there or platforms are going to allow you to put them into yours and then drain their pockets? $400 people behind you. How much are you receiving a day? Anybody know?
On Team Royal.
Yeah.
I don't remember the matrix. I haven't looked at their site in about a month.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, you basically answered my question. I had one more about the debit card you're working on. Are we still doing that?
Mhm.
Will that be for APD and Team Royal royalties?
No, Team Royal got their own. You can put them on there if you want, but Team Royal has their own card.
Okay.
We'll have our own card, but it will be dual. Theirs isn't.
Okay. I can still do what you said, right? For keeping my one jump start until I'm ready for an LLC.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
stay.
you're just doing.
That's what I was gonna tell Rhonda. I think she got angry too early. But that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I want to clarify that because I've been with you a long time. I'm not angry. I have kept my word on multiple levels. And no, Randy, I'm not angry. And I thank you for clarifying, Randy. And I understand how it can work if everybody comes in, but I want that clarified. I'm not angry. I have been with you, Montavo. I've helped you in multiple ways for 8 years. So I'm not angry, but I have my own reasons. And if the only place I can ask a question is on this call, then that's where I have to ask the question. And I've kept it and I haven't texted you or called you since I was no longer an admin. So I had to ask it here. And I have to know if my time is over. So yes, it's not because I'm mad. I am not angry. I have to make decisions that work for me. So my decisions will make that promise not come for me. I understand that, but I had to ask it here. And please don't interpret I'm angry. I am not angry. I
I
had
didn't
to
say
ask.
you were angry.
I know you didn't. Randy didn't, and I appreciate Randy, but I had to ask the question where I could ask it and where I was allowed to ask it. My other question I did ask when I turned in my questions though was this. Since we have been told this according to programming that we have to all join 2 positions in TR, my other question that I emailed in was, then currently, this may sound like I'm going across something, but I'm going to ask it. Since currently people who are in the foreign countries cannot join, how does that then work with the programming?
I answered that one earlier. I'm trying my best to make this work for everybody. But the more you fight what is written, the harder it's going to be. So currently, there's no international product other than silver and gold. But he has not given it to me in writing that I could put it down as a product for these internationals to come into Team Royal. Currently, the Team Royal or the 4th grade for internationals is shopping, donating, and that's it, really, shopping and donating. The subscription only happens once. So there's no products for them to participate with. So they go buy things. So the 400, they go get some shoes or whatever. Once I get him to put that in writing, then that's a different story. Now they can come in, those who can get an LLC, not all internationals can get an LLC. It still has to work the same way. Some can get an LLC. They would participate in Team Royal. The ones who can't get an LLC would remain shopping, donating, subscription. That's all they can do in the 4th grade, but they're still participating. All right, is that it? Any other questions? Okay.